all steamed up. Hear me shout, tip me over and pour me out.
We will triumph with lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love. Lots of love.
Hello everyone, it's Sukai Todd here again, and today I will be reviewing Alice in Wonderland 2010. Disclaimers, these are all my subjective opinions. Take what you want, leave the rest, and I will be leaving the whole depth versus herd thing out of this conversation. So if you have some sort of issue with that, please click off now. Thank you for watching. Bye! Okay, for the Tim Burton people who stayed, thank you. Firstly, I want to say I feel like Alice in Wonderland, and this might be a very hot take, is extremely misunderstood. Extremely. I think it's a gem. I think Alice in Wonderland 2010, directed by Tim Burton, is a gem. It was Mia Wasikowska's, I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. It was Mia Wasikowska who starred in Crimson Peak, which is one of my favorite Guillermo del Toro films, debut, as well as debut in mainstream media, as far as I know, mainstream U.S. movies, and to my knowledge. But it was also such a great film in terms of being true to the source material, which is something I mentioned in my Cruella de Vil, darling. I mentioned that in my previous, my last movie review that was Disney related. But yes, Alice in Wonderland 2010 is actually heavily following the source material by Lewis Carroll. And I'm also not going to get into Lewis Carroll and his whole life stuff, because no. I'm leaving all that stuff out of this video. This is strictly based on the movie and its merits. And spoiler alert, I have a bias towards this movie because I saw it not in theaters when it first came out, but I did see it when it first came out. And I didn't click with it when it first came out back in 2010. I didn't completely click with it, you could say, but I enjoyed it. But as I've gotten older, I really come to enjoy Alice in Wonderland 2010 and its themes. Because the themes are, shocker, about female empowerment, women coming into their own, and also through the journey of Underland, which will have some spoilers, don't worry. But through Alice being in Underland, she found herself. And she learned how to slay. She found her muchness. And I really felt that, especially after the year that I had in 2023. Watching this New Year's Eve 2024, it struck a nerve. Or as the kids say today, it hit different. But no, it really struck a chord with me. Get it? Because any offended the music. Anyway, thank you to the Black Critic guy for that joke. But yeah, no, it really struck a very deep chord with me. And it's, in my opinion, a really well done movie. I know a lot of people are like, well, CGI not good. It's like, actually, if you watch it in like 4K or at least HD, it's not bad. It's actually, in my opinion, warning might be a hot take here, most of the CGI actually looks quite good given the time that it was released. And what were they expecting from a Tim Burton movie? Tron Legacy? That is a genuine question I have. Were you expecting Tim Burton to pull a Tron Legacy on us? I'm waiting. If you said yes, please re-examine your taste in film and how you go into movies and with what expectations. Because when I first rewatched Alice 2010, that's what I shortened it to. I went in knowing that the special effects might not be what they are today, but I also felt comforted by that. because it's like that's what makes it unique. It is a distinctly Tim Burton film, in my opinion, in one of the best ways possible. And yes, I have seen Sweeney Todd. I am a Sweeney Todd fan. Comment below politely if you want me to do a Sweeney Todd review. I'm happy to do so. But there will likely be an age restriction on that review because it's an R-rated musical film. So, you're welcome, Joker. Anyway, I'm not actually hating on Joker's new film, by the way. It actually looks somewhat interesting. And I love me some rah 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 ah ah ga ga ooh la la. Want your Lady Gaga Holly romance. But, totally off topic. Back to the film. I feel like Alice in Wonderland 2010, given the year that it was made in and given the time that it's been since its release, has actually aged fairly well. Do I think it aged like fine wine? No. I actually think in terms of the Disney side of things, it aged kind of like milk, given the company. Well, not the movie. I won't say the movie. I'll say Disney, the company, aged like fine. Did not age like fine wine. It aged like milk that was already room temperature. Bad pun intended. But the movie, Alice 2010, honestly, I think it aged fairly well. It had a good shelf life. And it's not for everyone because it's actually following the source material. And the source material was a lot darker. And I think Tim Burton made it very clear that he wanted to follow the source material to an extent to keep his vision of Alice true to what his vision of Alice is, or was at the time. And I think it was incredibly well done overall. Were there some iffy moments? Yeah. Was Alice whiny? Yeah. But what I want to say to that common argument of Alice was whiny and childish. She lost her father. She's like just turned 18. She's only been within her mom and sister's care. Her sister's brother is a cheating person, two-time cheater. And she's almost forced to get engaged to someone at a time when British aristocracy was a bit too popular. Of course she's gonna be whiny. Okay? Like, she's whiny because she's, I know 18 is considered legally an adult, but she was clearly still very much a character that needed to mature, and she did mature. My first defense to the argument of she was whiny through a lot of it, because she's a freaking 18-year-old. Were you perfectly mature at 18? Okay, question for the class. College graduate Petty has entered the chat. Were any of us, and I'm including myself, perfectly 100,000% totally mature when we were 18 years old? I'll wait. And I'm not saying you can't be mature at 18, because I'm sure maturities can happen as you age. I'm sure they do, because I'm a lot more mature now than when I was 18. But the point remains. She was between 18 and 21. She wasn't going to be mature. Accept it. Okay? Accept it. That's my note to the Alice haters. Of course she's not going to be mature. Get over it. But in my opinion. But I think Alice did grow to slay. I enjoyed Depp's work as the Hatter, Helena Bonham Carter as the Red Queen. Thank you, Disney. But more importantly, thank you to the Red Queen. And of course, Anne Hathaway as the White Queen, the true Queen of Hearts. I genuinely enjoyed this film, and although they kind of were playing it very close to the line with the ending, again, while I don't excuse what happened with Britain and other, countries within world history, because I have studied it in college, I'm not defending this practice. I'm not, but I'm saying historically, it was very close to what was going on historically at the time that Alice was written in the 1800s and 1900s. It wasn't that far off. Okay? Which I know can bring up the whole offended party situation, which, like, I get it. there's a whole big mess about British colonizing stuff that I do not want to get into. However, I get why people would be offended by that. But if they actually focus on Alice, she's not just talking about trading goods from China within Britain. I think it was showing her character development as a businesswoman, which I think is a perfectly healthy message to show to young women. As she tells the person she almost was forced to marry, who she clearly wasn't into, that he is not the right man for her. She's not saying, I'll never get married. Me when I was 18. No, she was actually mature enough to say, I'm sorry, I can't marry you. You're not the right one for me. But she wasn't cruel about it. She got her aunt to hopefully seek some help. And she assured her mother that she will do something great with her life. And I think that takes an intense amount of courage and maturity. So, you know, I don't think Alice was that immature by the end. I actually think she matured quite a lot in Slade. She became much more, after slaying the Jabberwocky. And off with its head it went. She became much more muchier. She had much more muchiness. And I am a fan of Mia Wasikowska, so that's just me. But these are my thoughts. What are yours? Comment below. Play nicely, Diz, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Be sure to follow me on Instagram.